Local businesses are losing customers every single day, and most of them don't even know why. The reason is simple. Their website is broken, outdated, or doesn't exist at all. But here's the thing, that's not just a problem, it's your opportunity. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how to take any real business from Google Maps and turn it into a clean, professional, client-ready website using Claude Code. We'll find a real opportunity, generate the website with a custom prompt, refine the design, make sure the buttons actually work, and publish it live so anyone can open it. No design skills, no coding from scratch, just a clear workflow you can repeat again and again. And to make this dead simple to follow, I've built a free step-by-step guide for this exact video. You'll enter the business details, customize the prompt, copy it, and use it directly inside Claude Code. The link is in the description. So let's build a real local business website, start to finish. The first step is to find a real business to work with. So I'll open Google Maps. Now, this can be almost any local business, a restaurant, a gym, a salon, a car repair shop, a cleaning company, a roofing company, a landscaping service, any business that needs a better online presence. And you're not limited to your own city. You can search in any location you want. For this example, I'll use a home service business. These businesses usually need strong websites with clear contact buttons, quote requests, service sections, and trust signals. Here's what we're looking for. We want a business that either doesn't have a website or has one that looks old, slow, or confusing. If the business already has a beautiful, modern website, there's nothing to improve. The opportunity is in the weak ones. So I'll search for a niche, look through a few businesses, and pick one with enough public information. At this stage, I need the business name, the business type, the city or area, the phone number, the Google Maps link, and, if possible, a few details about their services. Don't overthink this. You don't need perfect information. You just need enough to build a realistic first version. If this were a real client project, you could later ask the owner for proper images, exact services, prices, and testimonials. But for now, we're building a strong demo. So I'll pick this business right here. Now I'll quickly collect the important details: the business name, the business type, the location, the phone number, and the Google Maps link. That's enough to start. Now let's turn this information into a real website. Before we build, let's get the main tool ready. Don't worry, this only takes a minute. For this video, I'll be using Claude Code inside VS Code. If you already have Claude Code ready inside VS Code, you can skip this part. If not, first download VS Code for free from the official website and install it like any normal program. Then, inside VS Code, open the Extensions panel and set up Claude Code. Last step, connect it to your Claude account. Once Claude Code appears inside VS Code, you're ready to follow along. And if you get stuck, I left my full beginner setup guide in the description. Now let's build the website. We've got our business details, and Claude Code is ready to go. So let's open the free guide and head to step 2, build the website with Claude Code. I'd keep this guide open beside you as you follow along. It has every field and the full prompt in one place. Inside this step, you'll find the master prompt. It's built to create a real local business website, not just a simple landing page. But before we copy it, we need to customize it with the details we just collected from Google Maps. So I'll click Customize Prompt and start with the basic information. First, the business name. For this example, I'm using Sandoval Roofing, Inc. Next, the business type. The guide includes ready-made options for the most common types. But if you don't find the exact one you need, just pick Other/Custom and type it yourself. This is a roofing business, so that's what I'll do, and I'll type roofing contractor. After that, I'll add the city or area, the phone number, and the Google Maps link. This gives Claude Code the context it needs, what we're building, where the business is, and which contact details should appear on the site. Now let's move to the style section. You'll find ready-made brand styles here too, but the same rule applies. If none of them fit, just write your own. For this roofing business, I want the site to feel professional, trustworthy, and clean. So I'll type that in. Then I'll pick a primary color. I'll go with gold because it pairs well with a professional roofing brand and gives the design a more premium feel. Next is the main call to action, and this one matters. Every local business website needs a clear action for visitors to take. For a restaurant, it might be reserve a table. For a salon, book appointment. But for a roofing contractor, the strongest choice is usually get a free quote. So that's what I'll use. At this point, you already have everything you need for a good website. But if you want the result to feel more specific and less generic, open the advanced options. This is where you can add extra details: a tagline, the full address, an email, your main services, opening hours, a secondary call to action, and a secondary color. You don't need to fill in all of it. Anything you don't have, just leave empty. The guide is flexible, and Claude Code will still build the site with whatever you give it. For this example, I'll add a short tagline, the full address, and an email. I'll leave the WhatsApp number empty. Then I'll list the main services: residential roofing, commercial roofing, roof repair, re-roofing, inspections, and storm damage repair. I'll add the opening hours, set the secondary call to action to contact us, and choose a dark gray as the secondary color. Now the prompt is fully customized for this exact business. The guide has taken everything we entered and turned it into one complete prompt. So instead of writing a long prompt by hand, all I have to do is click Copy. Right after copying, the guide gives me a button to open Claude Code in VS Code. You could use this prompt in other AI coding tools too, but we'll stay with Claude Code here. So I'll open it in Visual Studio Code. The first thing I need is a project folder. I'll go to File, then Open Folder, create a new folder called Sandoval Roofing, and open it in VS Code. With the folder ready, I'll open Claude Code. It's the Anthropic icon here in the sidebar. Since we already set it up earlier, one click and it's running right inside the project. Before I paste the prompt, I'll tidy up the workspace and close the tabs I don't need, like Welcome or Chat. From here, you can let Claude Code ask for permission before each change, or speed things up with options like Edit Automatically or Bypass Permissions. For this tutorial, I want a faster workflow, so I'll use the smoother setup. Then I'll choose the model. I'll go with Opus 4.8 since this is more complex work. We want Claude Code to build a full website structure, not just a quick basic page. Now I'll paste the prompt we copied from the guide. It already includes the business details, the style, the services, the call to action, and the instructions for how the project should be built. I'll send it and let Claude Code create the project. It'll now generate the website files, build the structure, add the sections, and prepare the first version of the site. Once it's done, we need to test it locally. I'll open Terminal, then New Terminal. The first time you run the project, type npm install to install the dependencies. After that, type npm run dev. VS Code gives us a local link, and I'll open it in the browser. Quick note, if these commands don't work on your computer, you probably need to install Node.js first. Node.js is what allows this kind of project to run locally with npm install and npm run dev. I'll leave the Node.js link inside the guide so you can install it if you need it. And here's the first version of the website. This is already a strong result. We have a professional hero section, service sections, images, contact information, and a layout that fits a roofing business. Let me scroll through to see what Claude Code created. The page looks clean. The services are here, the sections are organized, the design feels professional, and the buttons already work. This is exactly why the quality of the prompt matters. When your prompt is clear and structured, Claude Code makes fewer mistakes and gives you a much better first version. But this is still just the first version. It's good, but before we show it to a real business owner, we need to make it stronger. We'll polish the visuals, make sure all the buttons and links behave properly, get it looking great on mobile, and give the whole thing a more premium feel. And that's exactly what we'll do in step 3. The website is built, so before we publish it, let's do one quick refinement pass, and this is where Claude Code really shines. You don't need complicated instructions. To change anything, just describe it in plain language. Make this section more premium, or make the mobile version easier to read. Claude Code understands what you mean and applies it directly inside the project. Inside the guide, I've also added a few ready-made prompts for the most common fixes. The first is for buttons. Sometimes an AI-generated site has a button that looks great but doesn't actually do anything. If that happens to you, just paste the Make Buttons Functional prompt, and Claude Code will check every call to action, phone link, email link, and scroll action. In my case, the buttons already work, since the main prompt gave us a solid result, so I'll move on. For this demo, I don't want to over-polish every tiny detail, but I do want the site to look sharper before publishing. So I'll use the Make the Website Look Premium prompt. This doesn't rebuild anything from scratch, it just refines the spacing, typography, colors, and overall balance. I'll paste it into Claude Code and let it work. And here's the result. The sections breathe better, the design feels more polished, and the whole page looks more professional. That's exactly what I want before showing it to a business owner. Next, the mobile version, and this one really matters. Most people find local businesses on their phone. They open Google Maps, tap the website, and decide in seconds whether they trust the business. So even if the desktop version looks great, we have to check the phone. To preview it fast, I use this browser extension. One click and I can see the site on a phone screen. I'll leave it in the guide for you too. Now I can quickly check the hero, the buttons, the services, and the contact section on mobile. If anything feels too tight, too large, or hard to tap, I'll paste the Improve Mobile Layout prompt and let Claude Code clean it up. And here it is again: better spacing, cleaner layout, and buttons that are easy to tap. We don't need this to be perfect forever right now. We just need a strong version that's built, refined, checked on mobile, and ready to go live. And this is where the project gets really valuable. Instead of showing someone screenshots, we're going to turn this into a real, live website link. So let's move to step 4 and deploy it online. To take the project live, I'll use two tools together: GitHub and Hostinger. GitHub stores the project online, and Hostinger takes it from there and publishes it as a real Node.js web app. Let's start with GitHub. First, I need to connect VS Code to my GitHub account. At the top of VS Code, there's a sign-in button. I'll click it and choose Sign In with GitHub. If you don't see it there, click the profile icon in the bottom left corner, choose Backup and Sync Settings, and sign in from there. Both do the same thing. VS Code opens the browser. GitHub asks me to continue with my account, and then to authorize Visual Studio Code. This just lets VS Code connect to GitHub so we can publish later, so I'll approve it and let it reopen VS Code. To confirm it worked, I'll check the profile icon in the bottom left again. And there's my GitHub account connected. VS Code is ready. Next, we need a repository on GitHub. That's the online place where your project files live. So I'll open GitHub and click New. For the name, I like to keep it close to the project. My folder is called Sandoval Roofing, so I'll name it Sandoval-Roofing-Website. For visibility, I recommend private, especially for a real business or a client demo. There's no reason for these files to be public. I'll leave the rest as is and click Create Repository. GitHub gives me the repository URL. That's the link we need, so I'll copy the HTTPS URL. Now back to the guide. Inside step 4, I added a simple checklist so you don't miss anything. We've created the private repository and copied its URL, so the next thing is the safe GitHub push prompt. This one matters. The website is already done, and I don't want Claude Code touching the design again. This prompt tells it to handle only Git and GitHub publishing and to keep private or unnecessary files out of the repository. So I'll open Customize Prompt, paste the repository URL, and the guide builds a prompt for this exact repo. I'll copy it and head back to VS Code. One quick note: if Claude Code or VS Code says Git is missing, install Git first. It's what lets VS Code publish to GitHub, and I've left the link in the guide. Now I'll paste the prompt and run it. Claude Code inspects the project, checks the Git setup, connects the repository, and prepares the first commit. If it asks permission to run a command, I'll allow it. At some point, Claude Code may ask how I want to authenticate the push. I'll cancel that part. I prefer to publish the branch myself from source control. What matters is that Claude Code has already prepared everything locally. So I'll open source control from the icon on the left, or view, then source control. Here, VS Code shows a Publish Branch button. This is what sends the project from my computer to GitHub. I'll click it and approve any prompts that pop up. Now I'll go back to the repository and refresh. And there they are. The project files are on GitHub. That part's done. Hostinger can take it from here. Now let's publish it. Inside step 4 of the guide, there's a Hostinger card that opens the exact page I'm on, and the link is in the description too. This page is for deploying Node.js web apps, exactly what this kind of Claude Code project needs. I'll click View Plans. You can pick whichever plan fits how many sites you want to run. For this demo, the business plan is plenty, so I'll choose that. At checkout, Hostinger usually picks the longest period for the lowest monthly price. Keep it for the biggest discount, or shorten it. I'll go with 12 months. And to bring the price down further, click Have a Coupon Code, enter Profit Studio, and apply it. I'll continue. If you don't have a Hostinger account yet, this is where you create one and complete the payment. I already have a plan, so I land straight in the dashboard. From here, I'll go to Websites, then Add Website, and choose Node.js Web App, because we want Hostinger to deploy this properly from GitHub, not as a basic upload. Next, Hostinger asks for a domain. You can use one you already own, claim a free domain if your plan includes it, or use a temporary one for testing. I'll pick my domain and click Next. Then it asks how to deploy. I'll choose Import Git Repository. This is exactly why we pushed to GitHub first, and click Continue with GitHub. If it's your first time, Hostinger will ask to access your repositories. Just authorize it. Then I'll select the repository we made, Sandoval Roofing Website, and continue. Now we're on Build Settings. Hostinger already detected the framework as Vite, the branch as main, and the node version automatically, and the root directory can stay as is. For projects like this, the defaults are enough. If you're ever unsure, just ask Claude Code. What framework is this project using, and what settings should I use to deploy it? It'll tell you the build command, output folder, and anything else you need. Below that are environment variables. This simple website doesn't use any, so I'll leave it empty. But if your project uses an AI API, Supabase, Stripe, a database, or any private keys, add them here. Never hardcode private keys inside your project files. For this demo, there's nothing to add, so I'll click Deploy. Hostinger pulls the project from GitHub, installs the dependencies, builds the app, and publishes it. This takes a few minutes. And there it is, deployed. I'll open the live website. The site is now on a real domain. I can open it on desktop, on mobile, and send the link to anyone. It's no longer a preview inside VS Code. It's something a business owner can actually open and use. Back in Hostinger, notice that auto deployment is on. That means any future change you push to Git deploys automatically, and we'll use that in a second. One more thing worth doing. A business email makes everything look more professional. In Hostinger, I'll click Setup Email and choose the free business email option. Then I'll create an address, something like contact, team, or admin, using the domain name, so it's the business's own email instead of a personal one. I'll set a password, create it, and open webmail. Now the website has a real inbox that can send and receive. Before we wrap up, there's one essential skill left: how to update the site later and how to undo a change you don't like. Let's say I want a new hero image. I'll grab one from a free image site, copy its URL, go back to Claude Code, and say, change the hero section image to this, and paste the URL. Quick tip: with images, give Claude Code a direct URL instead of uploading the file. It's cleaner that way. Claude Code updates the site. But I don't publish every change straight to the live website. The professional habit is to test locally first. So I'll open a new terminal and run npm run dev. We installed the dependencies back in step 2, so there's no need for npm install again. I'll open the local preview and check it. There's the new image. Now let's say I don't like it. No problem. I'll open source control, where VS Code shows the changed file. To undo just that file, I right-click and choose Discard Changes. To undo everything, I click the 3 dots, go to Changes, and choose Discard All Changes. I'll confirm, and the change is gone. Refresh the local site, and the old version is back. That's the whole point of testing locally. Experiment freely and undo anything before it goes live. Now let me try a different image. Copy the URL, ask Claude Code to swap it in, and check the preview. This one's better, so I'll keep it. To publish it, I'll go to source control, write a short commit message like changed the hero section image, so I'll remember what it was, and click commit. If VS Code asks to stage and commit, I'll click yes. Then sync changes to send it to GitHub. And because Hostinger is connected to this repository, it redeploys automatically. No manual uploads. I'll wait a moment, refresh the live site, and there it is. The change is live. If you want to confirm it, open the website in Hostinger and go to Deployments. You'll see the new one created from that GitHub update. So the update loop is simple. Make the change with Claude Code, test it locally, commit, sync to GitHub, and Hostinger updates the live site for you. And that's the full workflow. We found a real local business, built the site with Claude Code, refined it, pushed it to GitHub, deployed it live with Hostinger, and learned how to update it safely. The free guide is linked in the description, and you'll find the Hostinger link there too if you want to deploy your own project the same way. So now, go find one local business, build one strong demo, publish it live, and reach out to show them what you made. I'll see you in the next one.